News 5 on your side presents Kaleidoscope, focusing on people who make a difference in Northeast Ohio communities.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast today. The Mount Sinai Health Care Foundation recently awarded Ohio Guidestone $160,000 grant to establish a program to help low-income children and families who've experienced trauma. Ohio Guidestone is working with Northeast Ohio Neighborhood Health Services, or NEON, as it's called, on the Child Parent Psychotherapy Project. NEON's Chief Operating Officer, Karen Butler, and Ohio Guidestone's Vice President of Community Counseling, Holly Ritzenthaler, are both here to share with us more about this. Later on, we'll hear from the clinical coordinator for Cleveland Clinic's Asthma Center, Stephanie McCarroll. She'll tell us about a partnership with the American Lung Association to educate the community about lung health and wellness day. And on the broadcast after that, we'll hear from Adam Lettner of Mattress Firm and Tamika Taylor from CASA of Summit County. They'll share with us how you can help make a positive impact on the lives of foster children. Good morning again, everybody. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope in our 18th year, I should add. And so we begin on the broadcast today with Karen Butler seated next to me and Holly Ritzenthaler seated to the right there. Karen, you're Chief Operating Officer for NEON, and Holly Ritzenthaler is Assistant Vice President for Community Counseling for Ohio Guidestone. Good to have you both with us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. First off, let's begin. What does NEON do? A thumbnail picture of what NEON does.
So NEON is a community health center network. We were established in 1967, and last year we celebrated 50 years of service to the community. We're dedicated to providing access to high-quality primary health care services and reducing health care disparities within the greater Cleveland area.
Yeah. And Ohio Guidestone, what does it do?
So Ohio Guidestone has been around for over 150 years, and we are a community solutions organization. We work in over 20 counties throughout the state of Ohio and provide services to more than 30,000 children and families.
You got a big grant to help children now, children who are dealing with trauma.
Yes.
We're seeing much more of that, aren't we? What do you mean by trauma? What kind of issues are children dealing with?
Sure. So trauma is abuse, neglect, also experiencing domestic violence in the home. It can also include parents who have a mental health issue, substance abuse, incarceration. All of those can be adverse experiences for young children and the experience of trauma.
Yeah, and your organization is helping get the word out, get what they're doing to the folks who come to you for help in NEON.
Absolutely, and the folks in greatest need. NEON is one of the largest community health centers with over 7 locations. And our health centers are located in medically underserved areas. And what we know is that these areas are typically disproportionately impacted by poverty and by violence. So this partnership really makes a lot of sense. And our executive leadership, our Chief Operating Officer and President Willie Austin, along with our medical director, Dr. Anita Watson, certainly they unanimously endorsed this partnership because they recognize the need to provide early intervention for children who've experienced traumatic events and the impact that that has.
Holly, you really can't question a 5-year-old about trauma. How do you get to the kernel of the problem with a youngster of that age?
Yeah, it's absolutely essential that we're working with the primary caregivers. And what we've established is a very simple screening tool that's used in the pediatric setting. So the nurses and the pediatricians are working with caregivers, asking them about experiences that the child has had in the home, in the community. And through asking for a total number of experiences the child has had, the doctor can then assess how much trauma the child has been exposed to.
And then what do you do with that information? How do you help? How do you help the child? How do you help the family?
Right, so we are able to incorporate this within our treatment for the patient. And what it allows NEON to do is to integrate the response that we provide to the medical needs of our patients with their mental health needs as well. And that directly supports our model of holistic care.
Now, this is a 2-year program, as I understand it. Now, you're just kind of setting this up.
We're actually in year 2 right now.
And how has it been for the last almost 2 years?
We have screened over 1,000 children children so far and referred about 20% of them for early childhood mental health services. So they're getting mental health treatment early for their exposure. And we also have a clinician that is based in Neon and Southeast centers to work directly with the staff there to connect with families. So we're doing warm handoffs and supporting the staff in understanding the impact of trauma on long-term health of their patients.
How big an area can you serve? And how do people get to your services so that I can get my kid, my child, some help?
So we invite our viewers to contact us at 216-231-7700 to inquire about our services. And then we've been working very closely with Ohio Guidestone to disseminate information to make people aware of this program so that they can avail themselves of the services.
Before we started the broadcast today, you were telling me you've got 7 health centers, correct?
Yes, we do.
And this project is in 2 of those health centers.
This project is in 2 of those.
You want to expand that?
It is definitely our hope to expand that. So with the early results that we're seeing, we certainly hope that we'll be able to do that and benefit so many more people.
Also, I mean, when I was a kid growing up, as you and I chatted a little bit before we started the broadcast, when I was a kid growing up, we didn't have all of this kind of trauma.
Right.
The world has changed for children, hasn't it?
It really has, and what we're seeing is we're already seeing children age 1 to 6, over almost 50% of them have already experienced an adverse event like abuse, neglect, or those other traumatic experiences I talked about. So prior to age 6, they're already having one of these experiences, and as we know, once you have one, the likelihood of having more is greater. So getting in, getting early, and impacting the family environment and community is so essential.
Okay. We got some phone numbers on the screen where our audience can get more information on everything we're talking about, and as well as websites. That's 440-260-8300 as you see on the screen, or you can go to 216-231-7700. More information on everything we're talking about. We wish you well. Thank you for what you're doing with the kids.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Ohio Guidestone and Ohio Neighborhood Health Services, or NEON, working together hand in hand, all to help the children.
Thank you.
Lord knows we need to help the children.
Yes, we
Many
do.
thanks for being on the broadcast.
Thank you so much.
Karen Butler and Holly Ritzenthaler, good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll take a break. This is Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. I return after these words, especially for you. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. According to the Center for Disease Control, some 18 million adults and more than 6 million children have asthma, which tends to be worse in urban areas. The Cleveland Clinic and the American Lung Association have partnered to host the annual Lung Health and Wellness event to bring awareness to the issue here in Cleveland. Stephanie McCarroll of the Cleveland Clinic's, she's coordinator for Cleveland Clinic's Asthma Center, and she is here to share more information about all of that with us. Hi, Stephanie.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, things are well at the clinic, I hope?
Very well.
At Cleveland Clinic, yeah?
Yes.
So we've got, what's going to happen on Lung Health Day, which is in June? What's going to happen?
It's going to be a lot of stuff that happens that day. It's an event that's geared towards families, also with children, because we want to have people be empowered and understand their health, understand about their lung health. And this year is a little different because we also have the American Heart Association that will be there. That's going to do a little bit more health screenings with blood pressure, glucose, so people can just be educated, have a fun day, and come out, have some food.
You can come in and be screened for all of this too, as to regarding your health care, and I mean your lung health and heart health and all of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right there at the Cleveland Clinic on the main campus. And that's going to be Saturday, June the 9th, starts at 10 o'clock and goes until 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes.
Are we getting much more interested in this? Are we getting more information about lung health out there to the public?
We are getting it out there. We can go on the Cleveland Clinic website. There's a lot of information, but this event is really to get that information more out into the community because sometimes people are a little reluctant to look up the information they need, but this information is the resources. We'll have me as the nurse, our physicians, our PAs, asthma educators, everyone there to get people connected. So, and even if we do find on our screening something a little bit abnormal, we can also have them register there and be seen at the clinic.
If you find something's wrong, at least you're already at the clinic.
Right.
You're already on the property of the clinic. How can a lot of the lung conditions we see in this country, certain asthma, how can they be prevented? Can we prevent them?
Asthma we can try to prevent, but there is still a genetic component to that. Also, a huge part of that is with pollution, especially in the urban areas. That's why asthma is more prevalent in the urban areas, because of pollution, cars. Other lung conditions, number one, stop smoking. We have to work with the smoking cessation programs, which we have people there to talk and help people manage that aspect of it. The other thing is just try to be healthy, exercise, and manage ourselves like that.
And if you are smoking, stop. And if you have not started smoking, don't start.
Right.
Just right there. So these health screenings are going to be available for anybody who walks in.
Yes.
Anybody who walks in, and it's going to be right on the main mall, the Cryo Mall, as it's called, at the main Cleveland Clinic campus, 9801 Carnegie Avenue. You can't miss it. It'll be a huge tent and all of that. This is vital, isn't it? Getting people to take more control of their health, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Is that what you try to do as coordinator for the Asthma Center?
Yes, I spend a lot of time talking to patients, trying to educate them, giving them the resources they need, because that is what separates, you know, when someone is not healthy versus health, is if you don't have the information, if you don't manage it at home, if you're not aware of what you need to do, you know, how can you be healthy?
Right.
And then a lot of patients and individuals in the community, not just my patients, but, you know, don't realize how much money is spent when you're not healthy. You know, so we have to also talk about the financial aspect of good health and how it just overall makes us much happier.
A couple of minutes ago, you mentioned pollution.
Yes.
Pollution in the air, pollution in the water. All of that has an impact on us.
Absolutely.
If you could be queen or king for the world, what would you do to fix that? Where should we be looking to fix that?
Well, I think number one, we need to look into like just littering, you know, just making sure we put trash appropriately, try to recycle as much as we can. Try not to put stuff into the water. Really having more programs to speak up about recycling, and when we have like computers, you know, you can't really throw certain electronics away. They're supposed to be appropriately disposed of so it doesn't affect us.
How long have you been working with the Asthma Center?
I've been with the Asthma Center about 3 years.
And you find it satisfying?
Absolutely.
Helping people with their questions about lung disease and all of that?
Well, I help people, but they also help me to stay on top, to learn as well with them. And it's rewarding in the sense that, you know, together, me and whomever I'm talking with, we can also accomplish what the goal is.
The Lung Health and Wellness event was going to be Saturday, June the 9th, starts at 10 o'clock in the morning and goes until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Starts at 10, Saturday, June 9th, at the Cleveland Clinic main campus right there between Carnegie Avenue and Euclid Avenue around East 98th Street. You can't miss it. It's the biggest facility right there. Right. Cleveland Clinic. You
and
can't
it's
miss
free
it.
parking too
and
that
it's
day.
Free, you're giving free parking?
Yes.
So there's no reason to not show up.
Absolutely.
Please show up. Anybody and everybody is welcome.
Yes.
Stephanie McCarroll is coordinator for the Asthma Center with Cleveland Clinic Foundation. We appreciate you being on the broadcast. I'm breathing a lot easier now that you've been here. Many thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you.
I'll take a break. I'll be right back. This is Kaleidoscope. More after this. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. Always glad to have you with me. Although there are more than 400,000 foster children in the United States, not everyone wants to be a foster parent, but there are other ways that you can help children who are in foster care. Adam Lettner is here from Mattress Firm, and Tamika Taylor is here from the Court-Appointed Special Advocate, or CASA, of Summit County. And they're here to explain how everyone can make a difference. Adam Lettner, District Manager for the company, Mattress Firm, Tamika Taylor with CASA of Summit County. First off, good to have you both with us. CASA, what is it that you do at CASA, or the Court-Appointed Special Advocate?
Okay. The CASA program of Summit County is an advocacy program of Summit County Juvenile Courts. What happens when a child enters Children's Services, a judge will appoint a CASA to that child to advocate for the best interests of that child. Basically to make sure that any services that are needed for that child, they receive them while they're in the Children's Services program.
And a lot of these children, foster care children, they need help.
Yes.
Enter Mattress Firm, your company.
Yes.
What is it that you're doing to help some of these foster children?
Yeah, so about over 10 years ago, we came out with the Foster Kids program. It's part of the Ticket to Dream Foundation. So this started out on the West Coast as under a company called Sleepy's.
Yeah.
And this was a company that we've since acquired. When we did, we saw the opportunity that they've helped over thousands of foster kids. So we took it upon ourselves as not only an opportunity, but a responsibility to extend that out to our nationwide footprint of 3,500 locations. So as of right now, we have 6 drives throughout the year. Currently, we are doing now through June 17th, we're doing a clothing drive. We also, going forward, will have a drive for school supplies, as well as shoes, toys, pajamas later in the year, a dollar drive, which you can actually donate not only in all of our locations, but at mattressfirmfosterkids.org as well.
So you're helping the kids. These kids need some of everything, don't they?
Yes, they do. When they come into Children's Services, they're usually coming with the clothes on their backs. It's usually an emergency situation, so they don't have a chance to grab their personal belongings or, clothes that they can have while they're with the foster family. So these drives provide the items that they need so that they can have a heightened level of normalcy while they're with their foster family.
What kind of clothing are you looking at?
Basically anything. Anything is welcome. Any donation is welcome, from newborns all the way up to a 17-year-old.
This would be new clothes or gently used clothes?
Correct. New and gently used. We will accept anything that we can provide to these foster children.
And where can people donate these clothes and other school supplies and those kinds of things?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, we have 3,500 locations approximately across the country. However, in our local community, we have 38 locations right here in the greater Cleveland area. Yeah,
I was saying, I know one of them, I see it all the time on the way to church at the corner of Belvoir and Mayfield Road.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of your locations, but you've got 37 others around Northeast Ohio.
Correct. In just about every city, we have 1 to 2 locations.
And the name of the company is Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm, you can find that, look those up where they are. This is vital, isn't it, Tamika, to saving these children's lives, giving them what they need?
Yes, absolutely. In our program in Summit County, we serve anywhere between 800 and 1,100 children a year. These children are coming from situations where they're neglected or the family is experiencing substance abuse problems. And so they're definitely in need of things like clothing, shoes, even for example, with foster families, they receive stipends. With the dollar donation, sometimes that stipend doesn't stretch as far as you need it to stretch. And the dollar donation program can make up the difference. It can bridge the gap for things that the child may need that the stipend doesn't cover. If, like I said, if they don't have enough clothes when they join a foster family, if they don't have shoes, sometimes children don't have shoes when they're taken into a foster family, and those drives provide those supplies.
You also need foster parents too, don't you?
Yes, you do.
You always need foster
always
parents.
Need foster
so
parents.
People can go to the Summit County website to get more information on that while we're talking about, while we continue talking to you. That's summitcasagal.org, correct?
Yes.
Summit, SAGAL.org. More information on everything we're talking about. Or you can go to mattressfirmfosterkids.org. More about donating and locations. This is so helping the community. You are out to make a profit, of course. Mattress Firm is a business, but it's also out to help save the community as well.
Yes, we truly believe in giving back, and that's why we partner with organizations such as CASA, because we want the donations to go to the local communities in which they're taken, so that way we can make a huge impact in our communities.
So once again, we'll give it a good plug here. Looking for clothes, shoes, school supplies. Anything else we're looking for?
So we also take pajamas as well as toys, and we do those drives separately throughout the year, but we will welcome any of those donations at any moment, as well as the monetary donations, like she mentioned, with the stipends not quite being enough, as well as a lot of the foster kids end up with extended families in which they don't get any stipends. So monetary donations always welcome at any of our locations, as well as the website mattressfirmfosterkids.org.
You know you're saving lives when you do this, because the kids need everything. And as you say, they need everything, and they also need the love of a family as well.
Yes.
Okay. Well, once again, you can go to mattressfirmfosterkids.org, more information on what we're talking about, or go to summitcasagal.org. It's at the bottom of the screen. More information on everything we're talking about. And your big day is going on. You're collecting clothes now through June the 17th.
Correct.
Through June the 17th. So get to help the foster kids get to Mattress Firm. Many thanks for being on the broadcast. Adam Lettner of Mattress Firm, Tamika Taylor of CASA of Summit County.
Thank you.
To have you
Thank you
both
for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Bless you for what you both do, too.
Thank you.
I'll take a break. Back in a moment. Here now is Sharon Gibson of the Urban League, Administrative Assistant of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Good to see you, Sharon.
Good to see you, sir.
What are we talking about today?
So we want to invite Greater Cleveland to welcome the National Urban League as they host their National Urban League Conference in Columbus, Ohio, August 1st through the 4th in 2018.
What's going to happen at that Urban League conference?
So, well, they'll have a lot of workshops, seminars. We'll have guest speakers, Devon Franklin, Megan Good. Fantasia is one of the entertainers slated for the gala on Friday evening.
Now, this is open to anybody who wants to go down in Columbus. You're doing this in Columbus.
In Columbus, Ohio. It's coming to Ohio.
It's going to be on, well, what's the date of that again?
August 1st through the 4th.
So this is a big thing. This is a big conference. You're going to be going down there, taking over the town. Taking over.
It's held annually, and this year it's close to home.
What do you want to happen in our final 15 seconds at this conference? What comes out of that?
It's empowering, networking. You actually get a chance to see the Urban League movement up close and personal.
Well, that's all good. Well, tell everybody over the Urban League we said hi. Sharon Gibson is Administrative Assistant over there, working at the elbow of Marsha Maccabee, who's its president. Good to see you, Sharon.
Good to see you, sir.
Tell Marsha we said hi.
Will do.
Okay. And we'll say so long to you. Be well.
This has been a presentation of News 5's Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.